For 28 years, it stood as the ultimate symbol of the Cold War, a brutal, concrete scar carving a city, a nation, and a world in two. It was the Berlin Wall. But on one incredible night in 1989, the unthinkable happened. This is the story of November 9, 1989, the moment a bureaucratic blunder, fueled by the will of the people, ended an era and changed the course of history forever. To understand the fall, you need to know why the wall was built. After World War II, Germany was divided. The Democratic West, Federal Republic of Germany, and the Communist East, German Democratic Republic, or GDR. Berlin, though deep inside the East, was also split. By 1961, thousands of skilled workers and professionals were fleeing the repressive, poor East for the prosperous West, often through the open border in Berlin. The GDR was hemorrhaging its population. Their response? Build a wall. The wall wasn't just concrete, it was an elaborate death strip, guard towers, anti-vehicle trenches, and armed guards ordered to shoot. It wasn't to keep the West out, it was to keep East Germans in. The late 1980s saw the Soviet Union's grip loosen under Mikhail Gorbachev's reforms. Throughout Eastern Europe, people were rising up. In East Germany, massive pro-democracy protests swelled, demanding freedom and change. The communist regime was cracking under pressure. The final blow came not in Berlin, but hundreds of miles away. Hungary opened its border with Austria, creating a loophole. Thousands of East Germans traveled through Czechoslovakia and Hungary to escape to the West. The country was draining fast, and the government knew they had to act. On the evening of November 9th, the East German leadership decided on a new, more lenient travel regulation. They planned a quiet, managed opening. But the message was handed to party spokesman Gunter Schabowski just before a live televised press conference, and he hadn't read it properly. When asked about the new travel law, Schabowski, fumbling for details, announced that private trips abroad could be applied for without preconditions. Then came the question that changed everything: when does that come into effect? Schabowski stammered, checking his notes, and then famously replied, "As far as I know, it takes effect immediately, without delay." The news exploded. West German TV immediately broadcast the announcement. East Berliners, in disbelief and sheer excitement, flocked to the checkpoints. The most famous was Bornholmer Strasse. The border guards, including Commander Harald Jäger, had received no official orders. They were completely unprepared. Thousands of people, chanting, "Open the gate," and "Tor auf," were pressing in. Jäger was faced with an impossible choice: use deadly force or surrender. He couldn't get clear instructions from his superiors, who were terrified of a bloodbath. At approximately 10:45 p.m., Commander Jäger made the decision. To prevent a stampede, he ordered the barrier lifted. The wall was open. The scene was pure, ecstatic chaos. Strangers wept, shared champagne, and hugged on the streets. West Berliners hoisted East Germans onto their shoulders. People grabbed hammers and chisels, becoming Mauerspecht, wall woodpeckers, chipping away at the hated structure. The wall was no longer a symbol of division, it was a canvas of freedom. The fall of the Berlin Wall was more than just a gate opening. It was a major step towards the end of the Cold War and, less than a year later, the reunification of Germany on October 3, 1990. Today, only fragments of the Berlin Wall remain, standing as a memorial and a potent reminder. It took a global shift in power, years of tireless peaceful protest, and a simple mistaken announcement to bring it down. The night of November 9, 1989, proved that sometimes the most profound changes in history happen not with a bang, but with the quiet, unstoppable force of people demanding their freedom. What moment in Cold War history resonates most with you? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into world history.
Ja!